In today's lesson, we are going to look at how to use loops and variables to level up your C++ coding even further. These tools and techniques are all essential for improving your VEX IQ game, so don't miss out. G'day, I'm Mr. Code. All coding languages have different data types for variables, and this is because computers don't have unlimited resources. So by arranging variables into different types, a computer can better manage its memory and allocate the appropriate amount of resources to store this information. The main types of data you should be familiar with are booleans, strings, integers, and doubles. Now, booleans are one of either two values. They're either true or false. And strings are literal text like words or names. Integers are whole numbers. They can be either positive or negative. And doubles are numbers with a decimal point. And if you want to make a simple flag with one of either two values, then you use a boolean. To write some words, you would use strings. And if you want to work with math operations, then you would either use integers or doubles. Now let's see how these variables are created in our code. Okay, let's start by loading up a text project using VEX Code IQ. If you haven't done this already, then make sure you have checked out my previous lessons right up over here, okay? So you choose your C++ project, and let's create a boolean. So to create a boolean, let's first of all check out our code structure, okay? So here we have our pragma code and our include libraries up the top. We don't really need to touch them most of the time, okay? But in between that and the rest of your code, well, actually, you probably don't need to touch the namespace stuff neither. Before you hit the main code, this is where you should be adding your variables. And then after all your variables, you do your functions. Now, we're not going to do any functions today, but next lesson, we are going to be using this section. And then afterwards, you execute all your code inside the main function here. So this main is a function that always gets run in this C++ code. But inside variables is where we would create our variables. So here we go into variables. And if I wanted to create a boolean, it's just simply drag the boolean variable into here, variables. Okay, you see that the keyword bool, B-O-O-L, stands for boolean here. And then it starts with my boolean. So you can rename this to whatever you want. You can call it my flag is robot moving, or any kind of variable name you want. And what you can do then is to set this value to be equal to true or false. Yeah. So that is how to create a boolean. A string is very similar. So the great thing about the VEX Code IQ software is that you can grab these hints from the side here. Okay, so here we got your char value, my string, and you can call it hello. Here, again, my string doesn't have to be my string. You can call it whatever you want. Let's call it robot name, for example. And then you can call it whatever your robot name is. So here, creator. So we are, when we look at these variables, the first one is the variable type. Remember before we were talking about data types, right? So Boolean values only accept true or false. But these character values, these strings, they accept these values inside these quotation marks. Okay? Then we have integers, which is a type of number. So the integers are numbers that are whole numbers. There are no partial numbers, there are no decimal points, and they have to be negative or positive numbers, or it could be the number 0 as well. So you can say my, for example, default robot speed equals 100, for example. Okay, so it's all about being able to create these objects so that you can refer to them later on. And remember, these are variables, so you can change these values later on. For example, there's my Boolean value. It's equal to false right now, but you can change it to true later on. There's another type of number called a double. So here we got this double variable. Just drag it in. Double, and then this could be my actual robot speed. And then you can put any number you want here and put a decimal point in there as well. And when it comes to numbers, it all adds up if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I make lots of coding videos, so if you want to stay on top of your VEX coding game, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's have a look at loops. So back to our software over here, we're going to now make a loop. So when we are creating our code here, when we begin our project code, I want to make the robot move forwards and backwards 3 times. Okay. Now, if I was a newbie programmer, I would do something like this. Okay. So first of all, I'd add my drivetrain. Left motor is 1, right motor is 6. Brain inertial. This is all the same as our previous settings for a robot, by the way. So I know I'm blitzing through this, but it's because we did this twice already. Okay, so we go brain inertial, then we go done. That's going to give us access to our drivetrain codes on the left-hand side over here. So if I want to make the robot move forwards and backwards 3 times, then I would do something like this. Drive forward for 100 millimeters. And then I would say drive back. Whoops. Drive backward, reverse. And remember, how did I know that reverse was the proper keyword? I would click on this question mark next to the coding question, and then it would tell me that it accepts forwards and back and reverse. Yeah, so the direction is move either forward or reverse. Okay. So here I would do this forwards and then reverse, and then if I was a newbie programmer, I would do something like this. Bang, bang. Yeah, and then I would repeat my code this way. But then if I needed to do it, move forwards and backwards 5 or 6 times, then I'll need to copy this and paste it over and over again, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, we don't want to do that. So let's just do this once, because a lazy programmer is a good programmer. Okay, I want to make a loop. And to do a loop, we use something called a for loop. We go into control, and then you'll see over here there is this for word here. So for, and this is the way to loop. If you don't know your Python or you don't know your C++, you're probably confused when you first see this. It's like, what does for mean? For is a way for us to repeat something. Okay, so if you drag this in, it gives you a funny looking kind of function. Okay, but it's not really a function. It is a for loop. So here we got for, and then it's got an integer, I equals 0. Remember how we created integers at the top here? So I equals 0, so I starts at 0. And then there's a semicolon, I is less than or equal to 10. And then semicolon, then I plus plus. Yeah, it looks very familiar. Yeah, so C++, where does the plus plus come from? This is what the plus plus comes from. Okay, so I plus plus, that means that I is incrementing every single loop. So if I digest this from this for loop, it's basically saying that I starts off at 0. Then if I is less than or equal to 10, then I do whatever's inside these curly braces, and then I gets incremented. So I equals 1. Okay, so then it keeps looping through. I equals 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 10? Yeah, so do whatever's inside again. Then it equals to 2. I equals 2. Is that still less than 10? Then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then after 10, when I becomes 11, that's when it no longer meets the requirements of this loop. So it only does whatever's inside 10 times. Okay, so we don't need it to do 10 times. We're going to do it 3 times. And then we're going to put our code inside. We dent it so that it is a little bit easier to read. And then we're going to download the code and run it. Okay, so it did it 4 times, okay? Why did it move forward and backwards 4 times instead of 3 times? Let's have another look at our code. So if I look at my code, we got I equals 0, okay? So, so I equals 0, then, and 0 is less than or equal to 3, so it does everything inside, then I increments. So 0, and then I equals 1, and then 2, and then 3. And 3 is also repeated because it's got, by default, less than or equal to. So all we have to do to make sure that it only repeats the 3 times and not 4 times is we can remove that equal sign so that now I is equal to 0. And then when I is less than 3, not less than or equal to 3, then it runs the contents in the middle. Okay, so download the code again. Let's have a look at our table, and then let's see it run one more time. 2, 3. Perfect. My Robotics Center Creator Academy is dedicated to teaching kids about coding and robotics. In 2022, our students were the Australian national champions in VEX robotics, and 4 of our teams qualified for Worlds in Dallas, Texas. So if your team is also heading to the World Championships, make sure you reach out to me in the comment section below. We love to share ideas and to connect with other teams. And if you're in Australia, why not visit our centre in Eastwood or Chatswood to see how we can support your child or your school robotics team. Visit our website at www.creatoracademy.au. Now, there is a second type of loop that uses conditionals. This is called a while loop. We can use this kind of loop to repeat something an indefinite number of times, to repeat something while a condition is equal to true. And what are conditions? These are logic operators, kind of like more than, less than, or equal to. Now, let's say I want to make a robot move forwards until it senses an obstacle using a distance sensor to the front of the robot. Now, I am going to attach something to the robot. For this final code demonstration, you need this second generation VEX IQ distance sensor. Okay, you can see it's a distance sensor. If you look very closely, there is a this focus isn't working very well. There is a little arrow on this logo that shows that it is a distance sensor, not the eyeball. The eyeball is an optical sensor. Okay, so we're just going to simply grab this little connector over here. Going to connect it up like that. And then we're going to put a cable on it. And we're going to put it to the front of our robot. Whoops. So here, I'm just going to slap it into the front of our robot. Just in the front bumper is going to be fine. And then for the cable, I'm going to plug it into port, say, 2. Yeah, we'll put it into port 2. That works. All right, it's a bit of a fiddle over there. So now we have this distance sensor at the front of our robot, and I want our robot to move forward until it detects an obstacle. Okay, so how is the code going to work? So let's have a look at our code here again. I'm going to comment out our loop to make it go forwards and backwards. Remember to do a block comment. It is */ and then /* at the front and then */ at the end. And then here I'm going to create some pseudocode. While the distance is more than 10 centimeters, we are going to move forward. Okay, that's basically the code. Okay, so while the distance is more than 10 centimeters, we're going to move forward. But then afterwards, what are we going to do? Otherwise, stop the robot. Okay, now using the distance sensor is instrumental in your autonomous code when you are doing your robot autonomous competition, the section of the competition when you need to get your robot to move by itself, and it's because when you're able to sense obstacles, it's going to excuse me, it's going to make it so that your robot is a lot more capable of fulfilling its mission. All right, let's look at how this code is done. So while distance is more than 10 centimeters, very easy. You go into the left-hand side here. Actually, I need to add also my distance sensor. So here we're using our second-gen distance sensor. In your devices, you add it there. And then the port is num 2. Hit done. That way we're going to now unlock a whole bunch of sensor blocks inside sensing. While the distance is more than 10 centimeters. So you go into control, and then you see this while word here. You pull that into the code, while, and then you have this condition. Very easy for this condition. We just want to say while the distance is more than 10 centimeters. So distance, how do I get that distance? I go into sensing, and then I look for the distance sensors object distance value. Here we go. Distance second gen dot object distance in millimeters. And pull that into the brackets. While the distance is, because it's in millimeters, we want more than, it has to be less than. Yeah, I have just done whole, more than 100 millimeters. Yeah, because if it's far away, we keep moving. We move forward, but then otherwise we stop. Yeah, so move forward happens inside this while loop. So how do I do move forward? I just go into drivetrain. Now, this is the tricky part, okay? A lot of people don't realize that that they can't use these distance-based ones. You can't put in the distance there because you don't know how far the object is. Yeah, so we just want to drive forward indefinitely. So here we use drive forward. Okay, so now as long as there is nothing covering the front of the robot, it's going to move forward. And then once something does come into within 10 centimeters, it's going to break out of this loop. And then this is where we want to stop the robot. So drivetrain.stop. Okay. This is probably the easiest C++ I've ever had to write because VEX Code IQ helps us with all these shortcuts on the left-hand side. Let's download the code. And then I'm going to have to focus up my camera because otherwise you won't be able to see very clearly, won't you? Let's have a look at this. Okay, there we go. All right, so the claw's sort of blocking my my view a little bit, but the robot is going to move forward until I put my hand in front of it, and then it's going to stop. Okay, so let's test it out. There, see? Oh, no, you did you see it? Oh, yes, of course you saw it. So I'll do it one more time, okay? The claw was in the way, but it's going to move forward indefinitely until there's an object in front of it. So here, I just put my hand here, hit the play button again. Yeah. Next lesson, we will learn how to use different sensors, functions, and events in VEX IQ to create smarter autonomous programs. Can't wait to see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.